eco-friendly installations all over the Hungarian village of Papatezere. Like these solar panels on the roof of a kindergarten, or this watermill owned by a local. Papatezere has transformed most of the village into sustainable structures and hopes to boost tourism. Initially, Mayor Bella Valfinger wanted to save money on energy, so he started modernizing insulation and heating systems, as well as installing solar panels. With solar panels generating all necessary electricity, the village reaps the benefits when energy prices rocket.
For more than 2 years, we have been completely off the grid from gas. So when the sudden gas price rises came in the past year and a half, it effectively did not affect us.
Now, the area's sustainability has attracted young families, tourists, and investors. Renewable energy, green buildings, and electric machinery have made this small town appealing. The mayor said there's been a continuous inflow of people. Within a few years, nearly 50 children and parents have moved into the village, which is now home to about 1,200. Some residents have built their own systems to provide energy for their homes and businesses. Here's local entrepreneur Sander Ilko.
This 10-kilowatt system covers my whole work process with all the machines we use and all the needs of my whole house, too.
Sander Schwarz owns a watermill.
I renovated the watermill with great effort, and once one gets the feel of it, then there is no going back. This is how it started. As far as I know, I was the first one who embarked on a watermill renovation like this. Then soon after, someone else followed. So we have started a process which we hope will continue.
Mayor Valfinger says he plans to develop tourism by leveraging 25 disused watermills as attractions and accommodations.
The World Health Organization declares the rapid spread of Mpox in African countries a global health emergency. Mpox was declared a public health emergency of international concern.
We have this just in. The Philippines confirms its first case of the new Mpox variant. The health department says
the case was reported to the agency on Sunday, first since the World Health Organization declared Mpox a public health emergency of international concern.
Tune to BNC for more top-of-the-hour news.
Billionaire News Channel,
always on top.
Your safety is on top of everything. Here are some important numbers in times of emergency. Public service reminder from Billionaire News Channel. Always on top.
I'd like to say it's because a lot of the games coming out now tend to be more of the same. There's a different kind of innovation back when the PS2 was the most current console. Companies weren't afraid to think outside the box. They were willing to take risks, even if it meant that they weren't going to get a whole lot of sales.
Looking at old video games. They teach you the basics of like what makes a good game, and they were kind of the building blocks that led to a lot of major games now.
自分でお金を出してたくさん買うことができるようになってくると、子供の思い出っていうのを追い求めてしまうんですね。こういった人たちが一番最初のレトロゲームでコレクターの第一世代になります。
小学校の時に子供の頃おばあちゃんに買ってもらった電子ゲームウォッチですね。それが出てたんですね。でそれを買ったんですよ。買って懐かしいなって、あの頃こんないろんな思い出が蘇ったんですね。そこからこういうのもあったな、あんなのも持ってたなっていう思いからいろんなものを買ってるうちにどんどん増えていったっていう感じですね。
This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, one semifinal duel is ready in the WNBA. World number 3 Carlos Alcaraz qualifies for the ATP Finals for the 3rd straight year. We have local basketball action. And one of the country's best female basketball analysts, Melissa Newsome, is on the show. All that and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 25th of September. Now, here's our roundup. Sabrina Ionescu poured in a playoff career-high 36 points. Jonquel Jones had a double-double, and the New York Liberty completed a 2-0 first-round sweep of the Atlanta Dream with a 91-82 home win. New York Liberty point guard Courtney Vandersloot. She broke Sue Bird's all-time record for postseason assists. Vandersloot now has 365 assists in her postseason career. The top-seeded Liberty, who beat the 8th-seeded Dream 83-69 on Sunday in game number 1 of the best-of-3 series, advanced to the semifinals for the 2nd straight season. In the other quarterfinal duel, Kelsey Plum matched her career playoff high with 29 points, while WNBA Most Valuable Player A'ja Wilson added a double-double as the 4th-seeded defending champion Las Vegas Aces eliminated the visiting Seattle Storm 83-76 for a 2-game quarterfinal sweep. Plum hit 11 of 15 shots from the field, while Wilson added 24 points and a game-high 13 rebounds as the Aces dominated the glass 45-30. The two-time defending league champion Aces will start the best-of-5 semifinal series on the road against the top-seeded New York Liberty. Las Vegas lost all 3 games in the season series, but looked more like its championship self down the stretch, going 9-1 to end the regular season. Carlos Alcaraz has secured his place in the season-ending ATP Finals in Turin this year. The 21-year-old Alcaraz won the French Open and Wimbledon this year to take his Grand Slam tally to 4 before bagging the silver medal at the Paris Olympics. He also won the Indian Wells title, leading to his 3rd time to qualify for the tennis world's prestigious season finale. World number 1 Jannik Sinner qualified in August during his run to the Montreal quarterfinals, while 2018 and 2021 champion Alexander Zverev earned his spot after making the last 8 of the US Open this month. The ATP Finals, which features the world's best 8 singles players and doubles teams determined by the separate Race to Turin rankings, will run from November 10 to 17. In the NCAA, Jose Rizal University engaged Arellano University in a closely contested game at noon. The Heavy Bombers took control with a 12-2 run for an 84-74 lead, but the Chiefs closed the gap to 2 points with 7.4 seconds left rather, and would have tied after a Marvin Raimundo missed one from the line. But Renzo Abiera missed the 3, which was a potential game-tying 3, securing the win for JRU 92-89. And later that afternoon, Kevin Santos put up a Herculean 17-point effort at the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center for Letran. It was Santos's career-high output, highlighted by a monster jam in the 4th quarter, which helped Letran survive a strong second-quarter surge by Emilio Aguinaldo College for a final score of 75-73. The Knights now share the second spot with Mapua. Meanwhile, in the UAAP for women's basketball, LaSalle's Luisa San Juan converted 10 triples against FEU. 10 triples! And the feat broke former Lady Archer Kate Castillo's 7-year-old record of 8 made in a single game. The third-year Phil Britt guard also tied NU's Jeff Napas and UE's Alan K. Dix overall UAAP event record established in 2002 and 1985. San Juan finished with 34 points, matching the season high set by Ateneo's Casey De La Rosa less than 3 weeks ago. Luisa San Juan's historic performance resulted in the Lady Archers' breakthrough win for the season, 89-65. In the other women's game, NU continued its run and remained unbeaten in 5 games. The Lady Bulldogs totally dominated Adamson, especially in the second half, where they turned a 6-point lead to a convincing 19-point edge and on to win 74-52. De La Salle University got back on the winning track of the UAAP Season 87 Collegiate Men's Basketball Tournament. Took a 13-point lead early in the third quarter, 45-32, and looked primed to put the game away. But FEU put up a strong challenge, taking their first lead of the game at the start of the fourth. But La Salle had one last run that eventually gave the defending champions the win, 68-62. Kevin Cambao almost had his third UAAP career triple-double with 12 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists. TNT had a shaky start in its first meeting with NLEX in the Governor's Cup. But then, Ronde Hollis Jefferson took the reins, exploding for 17 in the third. The import went on to lift the Tropang Giga to take Game 1 of the best-of-5 series 107-102. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 25th of September. When we return, we will view the Caitlin Clark effect on women's basketball, but through the lens of a former UAAP player, Ateneo Blue Eagle, Melissa Newsome.
I'm attorney Karen Jimeno. Join me at the forefront as we zero in and discuss the details of some of the most pressing national issues that our country faces.
You mentioned there are 5 PNP officials who are also involved. Who are these 5 PNP officials?
What makes the PAOCC more effective in dealing with organized crime?
The political scene and government issues. These should be our concern, and we're taking you at the forefront.
What we're doing today is we're going to fly a drone mission over the plot to construct a 3D model of the forest using 2-dimensional photographs.
these estimates are not accurate enough. So doing extrapolation with these estimations, which are too optimistic, can give too much hope and too much optimism in the possibilities of forests to store carbon in the short term.
We use this, we collecting the soils and we wait and then.
How long is that sample itself?
So the aim is to estimate at the country level for every places in every locations in Thailand to calculate how much carbon can be stored by 1 hectare of forest everywhere in Thailand.
Your newest source of news and information.
That's it?
Follows you everywhere, every day.
Wow.
Oh, man.
On cable and free TV. Online.
He joins us from the Batasan Commercial.
On mobile.
Simulan na natin ang agenda.
This is BNC, and we are everywhere.
And we're back on the scorecard. The Caitlin Clark effect is real, at least to the WNBA. Stadiums are full, hotels where the Fever play are booked, and ticket prices are higher than ever. To help us see through all the dust kicked up by this fuss is former Ateneo Lady Eagle and now game analyst. Let's welcome Melissa Newsome. Mel, good evening. Thank you so much. Please have a seat. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, you know, this is a proud moment for me and everybody here at BNC because, you know, for as long as I've been in sportscasting, and I started in 2009, I don't remember or recall a time where the WNBA was a main topic. Yes. So with all the eyeballs now focused on the playoffs and, of course, Caitlin Clark, this is like a first time.
Yes.
So thank you so much for agreeing to the invitation.
Yes, thank you for having me. Great to be here and great seeing opportunities like this arise for women's basketball, especially with the rising in viewership too. It's important that we get on more platforms like this.
Exactly. And shout out, by the way, to Monique Del Carmen. Yes. Dahil sa'yo, Monique, we were able to set this up. So thank you very much. If you're watching, sana sa susunod, mag-guest ka naman. Samahan mo si Mel dito sa show.
Yes, please.
Okay. Mel, let's get started. First off, I want to ask you, how does it feel for you personally as somebody who used to be a player, now a commentator, covering the UAAP, the league that you played for, and the rise in the popularity of women's basketball, maybe because of the Caitlin Clark effect?
Yes.
Your thoughts?
Yes. Well, as a former player, I could honestly say I'm a bit jealous, especially for the UAAP players now, but I'm super happy for them because better late than never. And if there's a time for it to happen, it's now. And I definitely think part of that is due to Caitlin Clark, like you've mentioned, the Caitlin Clark effect.
Yeah.
And I think that's carrying over to here in the Philippines as well. So again, all good things, and we could only go up from here.
All right. How do you think the Philippines should capitalize from this so-called Caitlin Clark effect? I mean, I remember during the time when I was covering the UAAP, this was pre-pandemic, we would only cover the Final Four or the finals, but now the coverage is more extensive.
Yep.
So how do you think we should capitalize on this now that the interest in women's basketball continues to grow?
Mm-hmm. It's definitely giving them the platform, these players the platform to continue to shine, and they put in the hours of training, and a lot of them could be like Caitlin Clark, but we just don't know because they never got the opportunity to showcase that to the public. So I think giving them more opportunities and also showcasing their personalities off the court as well. And I think that's how we could capitalize on it.
All right, now let's talk about the topic at hand, the WNBA. People are saying that this is the most exciting WNBA season and playoffs ever. Viewership is at an all-time high. The conversations on social media, so rampant. A lot of people saying this, a lot of people saying that, a lot of people disagreeing. how are you enjoying the engagement online and your thoughts with the current WNBA season?
Oh, I'm loving it. I've always been a WNBA fan, and seeing these new fans come in, I'm all for it. And I like that Caitlin Clark, I would say, is bringing them in to the league. But I think Caitlin Clark's bringing them in, but they're getting exposed to the other talents in the league, and they're becoming fans of more than just Caitlin Clark, everyone, and giving them the recognition they've long overdue deserved.
All right, now let's talk about each series. There were series already that were wrapped up. There's a finals rematch in the semifinals. I want to get your thoughts on A'ja Wilson because she has been balling. She just comes to work, takes care of business. A'ja Wilson, your thoughts on her and the Las Vegas Aces as they try to go for a three-peat?
Yes, A'ja just continues to impress me. Just when you think she's reached her peak, she just beats her standard for herself and for her team. She's really putting the Aces on her back and saying, we're going to go for this three-peat. And I think she's only the second player in WNBA history to unanimously be voted MVP, and I think that speaks alone for how good she is as a player. And
first unanimous MVP in 27 years.
Yes.
So that's just insane. I don't know if I should throw this in because I don't want to put you in the hot seat right away, your prediction with regards to the New York Liberty and Las Vegas, but I want to touch on Angel Reese for a bit. I know they're not part of the playoffs anymore. She was sidelined with a season-ending injury, but she made this comment saying that, hey, people aren't just watching Caitlin Clark. They're watching because I'm here too. Yep. So what are your thoughts on the competitiveness with regards to the WNBA players and the new players like Caitlin and Angel coming into the league?
I think that's feeding into the viewership even more. I love that Angel Reese is there making a statement for herself, and I think all the players in the league need to stand up and say, we're here too. We put in the exact same work as Caitlin does, and they deserve just as much viewership as Caitlin gets.
All right. Now I want to get your prediction. Let's go back to the semifinal series. New York Liberty against the Las Vegas Aces. Personally, I feel like this should have happened in the finals, but it's happening in the semis. What do you think is different this year with regards to New York? That they're number one at the end of the regular season and now face Las Vegas, the defending champs.
I definitely think, obviously, Breanna Stewart, she's doing the same MVP things that she's also done in the past. Sabrina Ionescu, one thing I'm impressed with her is her defense. She's really upped her defense this year, and she has developed more of a mid-range game here. But for me, especially in game one of this series, for me, it was Fivic that was the game changer. She's a 6'4" guard, and I think adding that in, their size is just unbelievable with Breanna Stewart, JJ, and Fivic. All 6'4" players on the court. So I think that's just going to work wonders for them.
So you feel that she might be the X factor in this series in the semis against the Aces?
Most definitely, yes.
Okay, so are you leaning towards New York maybe pulling this one out this time around?
Yeah, well, honestly, I am an Aces fan. I love A'ja, I love the Aces, but New York, I have a feeling they might come away with this one, unfortunately.
So Melissa Newsome is picking New York over the defending champions.
But
all right.
Don't count out the Aces. That's all I have to say.
All right. Let's just say it's going to be a close series.
Yes.
Okay, let's go on over to the other quarterfinals matchups. I want to ask you, is it over for the Phoenix Mercury and the Indiana Fever, or do they still have some fight left in them?
I think it might be over for them.
Wow.
I think so.
For both?
Yeah, yes, for both.
Okay, why? Give me your thoughts.
Well, for Indiana, definitely their inexperience in a playoff experience. I think that's playing a factor.
Okay.
In their first game, you could definitely see that going against Connecticut, they're not new to that playoff experience, but they still have that eager to get their first win.
Okay.
And I don't think AT is going to stop them from getting to the next step or the next semis.
Okay.
And then on the other end, I think Phoenix, they're just outmatched. The Lynx are just different this year. I think they came in the underdog, but now they're the top team to beat.
If they lose, if the Phoenix Mercury lose, will Diana Taurasi have played her last game in the WNBA?
For me, I don't think so, but
I
it
hope
seems,
not also.
Yeah, they're setting it up that way, and it's making me so nervous because with the way she's playing, I think she could still have another year or two in her.
I guess it just depends on her, right? I mean, her being 42, but she did score 21 points, so she's showing that she still has it.
Yes, and I know she wants to leave on her own terms, and that's why a part of me is nervous that it might be this year, but I have hope. As a basketball fan, I have hope.
All right, going back to Caitlin and the Indiana Fever. As a fan, and I want to be honest, I just don't believe that 11 points, 8 assists, 2 for 13 is it for her. I think she has something more to give.
Yep.
And with everybody watching, I think that's when she is at her best. So, are you going to change your mind with regards to the Fever, or are you sticking with Connecticut advancing?
I'm sticking with Connecticut because, again, AT, Dewana Bonner, you know, you have these vets who I just think they have the experience, and experience as something that you just can't teach. So, yeah.
I'm sure a lot of Caitlin Clark fans who are watching right now, I tried, guys. I tried. But this is the expert right here. Okay. Obviously, there are a lot of opinions about Caitlin Clark. Even legends like Cheryl Swoops, they've chimed in. What are your thoughts on the scrutiny that she's been getting? There's been conversations online that the league is extra physical with her. They're even saying that Dejanay Carrington hit her intentionally. Of course, Caitlin denied this. Your thoughts on the treatment with regards to Caitlin?
You know, I feel like with Caitlin, you're gonna get the physicality, and again, because she's getting so much media attention, I think players are taking it personal. And again, these are players who have been here for years, worked on their game for years, and now you have this rookie to come in, and now you're getting the attention that you've been wanting for years. So I think they are taking it a little personal. But at the end of the day, I think basketball is a contact sport, and I think Caitlin's getting the shorter end of the stick, but I know she's tough enough to play through it, for sure.
And personally, I feel like the way she responds and how she talks with regards to what happened when the media approaches her, she's been very professional, and I think that's why people respect her as well. There was this one interview that I saw between DT and Sue Bird, and they were saying, like, if they had a baby, that baby would be Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
You agree with that, those thoughts?
I agree completely. I wouldn't have thought of it any other way. But yeah, she has aspects from both of their games at such a young age. So when she develops even more, it's going to be crazy to see.
All right, Mel, since this is our first WNBA discussion here on the Scorecard, I'm going to put you on the hot seat now a little bit. We're going to do a little yay or nay. So you just have to respond, yay or nay, and then explain why. Okay? Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Yay or nay? Caitlin Clark should have been on the Team USA roster in Paris.
Oh no. I feel like people are going to come for me again. I honestly don't think she should have been on it. I agreed with their decision not to put her on it. And it's going again to that experience. I think give her a few more years and she's definitely on that roster. No thought about it. But this year, I think they made the correct decision.
Yeah, you know what? The fan in me was saying, yes, yes. Yes, grow the game. Put her in there, even though she's not going to play that much. But then I looked at the roster, and I'm like, who are you going to remove here?
Exactly, exactly. I think that's something a lot of people overlook, looking at those players. Again, they don't know, these new fans don't know these players. They don't know their resumes. So
walang tapon, as we say here in the Philippines. Everybody on the roster deserved to be on that team.
Correct.
All right. Second, yay or nay? Sabrina Ionescu is already the best shooting guard in the WNBA.
I'm going to go yay on this one, especially with her most recent performance in this series. She's definitely increasing her game, developing her moves. She has that mid-range game now too, and then again, she's still deadly from the three-point range. So I'll go yay on that one.
And recency bias also, 36 points, playoff career high just happened. So I agree with that. Sabrina Ionescu, best shooting guard in the W. Okay, last one. Asia Wilson is already the GOAT of the WNBA. Yay or nay, Melissa Newsome?
Asia's my girl. I love her. But I'm honestly going to say nay for now because she's only 28 years old, and I think she has so much room to grow. Again, she's in great company with names across like Lisa Leslie, Maya Moore, and I think she's on her way to becoming the GOAT. So
who is your WNBA GOAT?
I'd say Maya Moore.
Maya Moore.
Yeah, I grew up watching her, just her resume, and then for me, it's what she's done outside of the court as well, how she's grown the game outside the court. That's why she's my GOAT.
Mel, can I get your best players per position in the WNBA? So I'm guessing shooting guards already Sabrina.
Yes,
and
correct.
Aja Wilson at the 4, or are you going to put her at the 5?
I'll put her at the 5 because I want Brianna Stewart at the 4.
Okay.
And then at 1, we'll have Chelsea Gray,
Okay.
the point guard.
Uh-huh.
The 2, like you said, Sabrina Ionescu. And then the 3, I'm going to go with, from Phoenix, Kalia Copper. Yeah,
Kalia Copper.
Yeah, she's just crazy on the court. She's always hustling. She's, as Kelsey Plum calls her, she's a dog out there.
Wow. Okay, all right. Lastly, predictions. In the finals, who do you think are going to meet?
I think it's going to be...
So you kind of already gave away the New York. Okay.
Yeah. So we have the Lynx or Connecticut. I'm going to go Connecticut,
Wow.
but that's going to be an interesting series for sure. I won't be surprised if the Lynx upsets them, but I'm going to go Connecticut, New York, so we'll see.
Yeah, I would love to see a Sabrina Ionescu and Dejanay Carrington matchup. I would love to see how Carrington would try to deal with her, her being an offensive force that she is right now.
Yeah, and Dejanay's defense against Sabrina, I'm interested to see if that would shut her down or not.
All right. Oh, since you're here, I will take this. We'll take advantage of talking about the UAAP. Records being made. I just read the news bit about the three-point record being broken, 10 threes.
Yep.
Your thoughts about where the game is at right now with regards to UAAP women's basketball?
Well, I actually got to cover that game.
Wow.
Where they,
Sakto pala yung pagbisita mo dito.
Yeah, it was Luisa San Juan from La Salle that broke that record. And again, there's so many players I'm being exposed to now that I'm commentating that they have such great talent, and I'm not surprised that each and every year we're seeing new records broke. And so, again, thank you to all the TV platforms that are giving these players the recognition. They so deserve it, and again, we're just going to see the sport grow and grow.
Who do you think is going to play in the finals?
I think it's going to be NUUST again.
So there you have it, guys. We have Melissa Newsome here on the Scorecard. Mel, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you for having me.
All right, catch Melissa Newsome in the UAAP covering UAAP women's basketball. When the Scorecard returns, be sure to keep your eyes on the prize.
Surviving the day starts with knowing the weather. So we're giving you everything you need to know to stay safe, rain or shine.
Tropical Storm Enteng already out of the Philippine area of our responsibility. The death toll due to severe Tropical Storm Enteng and the enhanced southwest monsoon in Antipolo City has risen to 8.
Weather HQ with Paolo Del Rosario, 9 a.m. on BNC, the Billionario News Channel.
We welcome you to a brand new week.
Let's embrace the day with enthusiasm. So let's make today amazing.
We wanted to incorporate Filipino elements to basic clothing.
So all the stones you see here are lab-grown. We have lab-grown diamonds, rubies, sapphires, emeralds.
Y, up, L, and hit. Very good.
I wasn't collecting, it's just that these are all part of my life.
It's a beautiful day, 7 a.m. on BNC.
엑스레이를 사용하기 전에는 영상 전공자 선생님이 없는 병원에서는 엑스레이 사진을 보고 얘가 뭐가 잘못됐을까라는 이제 소위 말하는 주관식 문제를 푸는 개념이었어요. 근데 이제 AI가 도입이 되면서 이게 진단 보조 서비스이기 때문에 질병이 있는 부분을 의심되는 부분을 찾아주거든요. 그러니까 이제 수의사 선생님들이 그거를 보고 아 얘는 어디가 의심되겠구나라는 식의 이제 객관식 문제를 푸는 셈이 돼버렸기 때문에 엑스레이 사진을 보고 판단하는데 더 효율적이 됐다고 볼 수 있습니다. 왼쪽 다리에 슬개골 탈구 그리고 이쪽에 관절염 그리고 고관절 탈구까지 역시 관절염이 있다는 뜻이거든요. 그래서 지금 모찌 같은 경우에는 이거 왼쪽 저희가 수의사 이렇게 심장의 단축 그리고 생각을 해보면
반려동물 주인분들이 이렇게 이해하기 굉장히 어려웠는데 이제 원장 선생님이 직접 이제 AI로 이제 엑스레이 촬영 분석 결과를 보여주니까 직관적으로 굉장히 이해하기 쉬웠습니다. 그리고
엑스칼리버가 일종의 이제 AI 헬스케어의 시작이라고 이제 저희는 보고 있고. 이걸 기반으로 해서 이제 다른 분야까지 좀 확장하는 거를 검토하고 있어요.
Welcome back to the Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. We'll break down the upcoming matchups to deliver key insights that might just give you the edge that you need to stay ahead of the game. First up tomorrow at 5 p.m. Get ready for an intense quarterfinal clash as the Meralco Bolts take on Barangay Ginebra San Miguel. Let's start with Meralco. The Bolts entered the playoffs on a high note after dominating Terra Firma 124-82 in their final elimination game. Alvin Pasao led the way with 21 points, while CJ Cancino added 15. With a 7-3 record, Meralco secured the second seed in Group A, and they'll be looking to keep that momentum going. Look out for import Alan Durham, who, despite limited minutes in their last game, is a force in the paint and on the glass as he added 14 points. On the other side, Barangay Ginebra suffered a tough loss in overtime to NLEX, 103-99. In their final game. Justin Brownlee led the Gin Kings with 26 points and 12 rebounds, while Japeth Aguilar added 22. Ginebra concluded the elimination round with a 6-4 record and will be hungry to bounce back, especially with Joe DeVance coming out of retirement to reinforce their depleted front court. But they'll need to bring their A-game against a tough Meralco squad. With Ginebra missing key pieces like Isaac Go, Jamie Malonzo, and Jeremiah Gray, the pressure will be on Brownlee, Aguilar, and Scotty Thompson to step up. Meanwhile, Meralco's balanced attack led by Durham and Pasaol could make the difference in this tight matchup. Who will advance in this high-stakes showdown? The odds have Meralco slightly favored at 1 to 2 points. But with Ginebra's championship pedigree, it could go either way. Next up, the San Miguel Beermen are gearing up to face the surging Converge Fiber Xers in what promised to be a thrilling quarterfinal matchup at 7:30 p.m. Coming off a 94-111 upset loss to Blackwater, the Beermen finished the elimination round with a 6-4 record. Junmar Fajardo with 23 points and 21 rebounds. While CJ Perez had 21 points and 8 rebounds, they will be vital as they aim to bounce back after a lackluster performance against an undermanned Blackwater squad. The absence of Jordan Adams due to a hamstring injury was felt deeply, and his availability remains a question mark heading into the quarterfinals. San Miguel will need a complete team effort, and the status of their key players will play a significant role in whether they can regain their dominant form. On the other hand, the Converge Fiber Xers are riding on a 4-game winning streak, capped off by a hard-fought 89-82 win against Magnolia Chicken Templados. Converge's import Jalen Jones shone with 27 points and 12 rebounds, while Justin Arana posted a solid double-double with 12 points and 12 rebounds. This surge has earned them a 6-4 record, matching San Miguel's, but their momentum gives them the edge heading into the quarterfinals. The clash between the Beermen's MVP Fajardo and Converge's rising star Arana in the paint will set the tone for the game. Both Jones and Perez versatile and capable of explosive performances. They are. Now this matchup could be pivotal in determining who controls the perimeter. With both teams evenly matched, Expect a competitive game with San Miguel's championship pedigree going up against Converge's red-hot form. It's a contest of experience versus momentum, and it's anyone's game to take. We have updates, guys. In UAP Season 87, Adamson escaped NU in an extremely close contest, 60-58. Meanwhile, in the PBA Governor's Cup, Rain or Shine staged an endgame blitz and took first blood in its quarterfinals meeting against Magnolia, 109-105. Now, before we go, think on this. From the 13-time All-Star, 5-time Olympic gold medalist, Sue Bird. She says, believe in yourself, and the rest will fall into place. Sue Bird is the only WNBA player to win titles in 3 different decades, and the Seattle Storm has retired her number 10 jersey. And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again here tomorrow on The Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport, right here on the Billionario News Channel. I'm Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening. Good night.
Up next on Billionario News Channel.